All big fights, but Robert Whittaker is a former champion, sort of a legend in this division. I'm curious how you're feeling heading into this Saturday night, and what do you think about Rob as an opponent?
He's definitely an experienced opponent, but I feel very, very confident. And I'm not underestimating him, but yeah, man, I have a few aces on the sleeves that he's not gonna know that I have, and like he's definitely very good. But with that being said, he's the same fighter that he was like a year ago. He's the same fighter that he was in his last fight. I'm not. Like, I keep improving. I'm more hungry. And, like, I'm on my way up. I don't believe he is. So that's the biggest difference there.
Now, I know neither of you are from here, but Marvin Vettori is a European. Do you feel like you're playing the bad guy role, or do you think you'll have enough fans to smooth that over?
No, I'm sure I'll have one or two mates in the crowd screaming for me. Mate, Europe's a big place.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure they all hate each other. So it's I don't think there's a unified front against me.
What do you make of Marvin? Not just as a fighter, but as a person. He's a pretty intense guy. Like, sometimes he can get wound up. But what do you make of him, and how have your experiences been with him, if any?
My experiences with him have been great. Like, very amicable. You know, we were going to do a sit down. I don't know I can't remember what it's called. What's it called? We were going to do face to face, and I didn't really know what it was. Didn't know whether I wanted to do it or not. But I ran into him down near the microwaves. He was behind me, of course he is, and I just straight up asked him if he wanted to do it, and he was really cool, and I got a real amicable vibe from him, and like we were very friendly. And I started thinking, like, well, if we're not going to be sitting there bad-mouthing each other, then what are we doing? I don't want to just hang out. So I just left that. So if that can get to him, because I think he thinks I stood him up, which I did not. But as a person, I don't know him. He's just the name that was given to me in the contract to fight. He's a dude in the top 5 I haven't beat. And I think beating him looks good.
Do you think that's something that you can take? Not that you're not a confident guy, but is that something you can take confidence from, where you think, hey, I'm still improving. I don't see this guy improving. He might be sort of starting to plateau here. So I know I can go in there and do different things than he can at this point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that shows not just in not just in the fight. That's in everywhere. Like, in my training, I go in and I want to get better. I'm giving it my all. Like, it's different when you want to just cruise, I mean, he's a great fighter, and, I don't believe that he goes into training cruising, but like, the hunger is way different. Like, what I want is not what, like, we're different. Like I said, I'm on my way up and he's not. That's it.
When you look at the fight itself, are you expecting more of a grapple-heavy fight, or do you think you can go out there and get into a war with this guy? Do you think he's going to try and avoid you and use his range? Where do you think this fight takes place on Saturday? How does it go?
He can't grapple with me. He can't grapple and be successful with me. He just can't. So he'll try, and I welcome it if he does, but he really can't. I can, and I can do anything in that fight, and I will. Because it's MMA at the end of the day. And but yeah, man, like I said, I think I match up very bad for him. Like, my skills match up very well for myself against him. And the way that I fight will drain him, will make him do mistakes, and I'll capitalize on those,
He was in here earlier. He didn't mention that you'd stood him up. So but he did say that he feels he's improving as a fighter and you are not, and that he's hungrier than you are at the moment, at this moment in your careers. I'm curious what your take is on that.
He's wrong. I think I am improving. I'd like to think. I think there's hard facts to prove that I am improving. I think the wins behind going up is hard evidence that I'm improving. I think the way that second fight with Adesanya went is hard evidence that I'm improving. So I think I'm getting better. All right. As for hunger, I know why I'm in the game. That was a whole big thing I did at another stage. But I know why I'm in the game. I know why I want to to win. I know why I want to beat him in particular. I know why I do what I do. And yeah, there isn't a doubt in my mind of why I'm getting in there with him on Saturday and why I'm going to leave it all in the octagon.
What's on the line for the winner here? Right, both of you have fought Izzy. Both of you didn't beat him then. So do you guys kind of have to hope that Alex Pereira beats him in November, or do you think, hey, look, I'll just keep fighting, keep winning, and eventually he will have to fight me one more time?
Yeah, I mean, I don't plan things like that, but like, I want Pereira to win just because it would excite me more as a next challenger eventually. And I think that will happen because after this, I mean, I'm going to establish myself as number one contender. I mean, what's left for me? I'll pretty much fought everybody. And yeah, I mean, I think it would be undeniable another title shot with a great performance against Whittaker, you know? But if it, yeah. I mean, like, I decided it's over, man. Nothing excites me about that guy. Of course, I'll get my win against him before I'm done with all this. But yeah, man. I mean, the things that he can do best now is painting against nails. I definitely like more Pereira, and you know the way he carries himself and the way he goes about fighting and all that. Like not much bullshit, just straight bad motherfucker type of thing, and that's it.
Not into the painted nails look, no?
Oh hell no, man! Come on. This old wave gotta change, man. This old wave we're going. It's not good.
How do you see the fight itself playing out? He said that you won't be able to grapple with him, but you'll probably try. But he doesn't think that's an area of strength for you. How do you see the fight going? Do you think it'll end up in the grapple? Do you think it'll be all over the place? How do you see the fight playing out?
He wants to turn it into a dogfight. He wants to turn it into a barroom brawl. That's his fight style. Get up close, push up against fence, box you up, take you down, wear you out. That's what he does. I'm very different. I'm in, out. I hit hard. I hit fast. I'm technically better than him, I believe. I think I'm going to hit him too much. I think I'm going to be too much for him. I think he's underestimating how good I am, how fast I am, how hard I hit. And yeah, you know, I think that'll come out on Saturday.
You mentioned how hard you hit. You do hit hard, but it seems like he's got a head that's pretty good for taking punches. Do you have to sort of think to yourself, well, I can't just guarantee I'm going to finish him because I've seen other guys like Paulo Costa smack him. I've seen Israel hit him a bunch of times and he just doesn't seem to go anywhere. Is that something you have to take into account?
All that means is that I get to hit him more. You know, it's a bonus in some ways. And yeah, I don't know if it's a good thing being able to take that many shots when someone's throwing them. You know, I'm happy though. I'm happy for the challenge. He's got a hard head, and I've been working on me one too. So I looked to put that to test.
Of course, this was supposed to be in Singapore for UFC 275. You know, what was your initial reaction when you first heard that fight was off?
I was pissed because this happens too many times, but to be honest, I think I'm more ready now than how I would have been back in June, to be honest. So it played out actually good.
And then going back to this weekend, how do you see yourself getting your hand raised this Saturday?
I'm going to try to really finish him, either submission or striking or knockout. If not, I'll be dominant. I'll be very dominant.
And you mentioned about the improvements that you've made, and you said you could see it in your past performance. Can you talk a little bit about the improvements that you have been making and what we can expect to see on Saturday?
I'd like to think I'm a little bit faster, a little bit stronger. I like to think I've got the weight cut and the rehydration, refueling process a little bit better. I'm a little bit happier. I have a little bit more experience. I feel holistically better, and that's inside the octagon and outside the octagon. I just feel like I've really hit a real fine form of balance in a lot of different aspects, and it's all kind of just coming together.
And of course, you were supposed to fight Marvin back in Singapore, but that couldn't go to plan. Can you talk a little bit about why that couldn't go to plan that time? And do you feel that perhaps this time around in France it's worked out better for you?
it's worked out better in the sense that I get to go to France. Like, yeah, really, really, really cool. I tried coming to Europe to fight in Europe years ago before the pandemic with Till, but finally made it. Very, very happy because being an international fighter, one of the best things is fighting internationally. So I'm glad it gets to live up to that. In terms of the fight in Singapore, I would have loved to have fought there. I still went there as a guest fighter. It was amazing and electric. It's an amazing place as well. But the injury, I had the injury before the Adesanya fight and it just dragged on. The fight didn't make it any better. And it just didn't heal in time. So I did the right thing, pushed the fight back, and here we are.
Thank you.